Okay, well, welcome everybody. Thanks so much for coming out here this morning. I want to thank the Louisville Free Public Library System for hosting this event here in Newburgh. And Newburgh is one of about 10 buildings or so that are owned by the city that have solar panels on it, and that's one of the reasons why we're here. So we're doing as much as we can with our sustainability plans, including solar. We're going to talk more about that here this morning. Yesterday, I joined Trees Louisville at Medora Elementary School to announce the great news about our city's tree canopy that is growing after following years of decline. We were the first city in the country, it was in 2013, where we did an urban heat island study on Louisville because we knew we were losing canopy. But the question is, okay, we've got a problem, but let's really identify what the problem was. So we did this with Georgia Tech and identified where our real problem areas were, and we had 38% tree canopy at that time. And the numbers, if they were left unattended, were going to be declining down to about 31% or so. So yesterday we announced that we now have actually had a 1-point gain in our tree canopy to 39 to a goal of 45 over the next couple decades or so. So it was really tremendous news relative to tree canopy and what that can do and benefit us for our city. So it was really great news relative to cooling our city and combating climate change and improving air quality. Obviously, all this is helping health outcomes for our residents. So sustainability has never been more important as we see all the news from around the world around climate change and the impact of climate change, and it's going to accelerate unless we as human beings do something about it. Humans sometimes forget that we are nature, and we are arrogant about that. And then Mother Nature reminds us that, no, she's in charge. Okay, so it's anything we can do as people to make sure that we're in balance with our ecosystem is super, super important. And so it was for that reason that shortly after I took office in 2011, I created the Office of Sustainability, and it's now the Office of Advanced Planning and Sustainability. And I commissioned the city's first ever sustainability plan. That's what Sustain Louisville came out of. So Sustain Louisville has served as a framework for progress toward our climate goals. And through the Global Covenant of Mayors, I pledged to reduce Louisville's greenhouse gas emissions in accordance with the Paris Climate Agreement and to accelerate progress toward a low emission and climate resilient future. Thankfully, President Biden has engaged again with the Paris Climate Accords. All during that time, though, of the previous presidential administration, when there was some disruption with our commitment to climate, the mayors of America stayed with the climate accord and kept improving relative to sustainability. So I'm proud of my fellow mayors from around the country for taking care of business in that regard. So we went about setting goals, and in 2020 we took the pledge, the Global Covenant Pledge, even further with the passage of a 100% clean energy ordinance. And that ordinance laid out our goals of 100% renewable electricity for metro operations by 2030, 100% clean energy for metro operations by 2035, and 100% clean energy community-wide by 2040. These are big goals. And the important thing is you got to make steps each and every day, and we are making progress toward those goals. Last year, I signed an executive order directing all Louisville Metro government agencies to prioritize the purchasing of electric and hybrid vehicles, green equipment, and necessary infrastructure to support transition to electric vehicles. Obviously, we've had a lot of news since then relative to Kentucky being a center for EV infrastructure with the battery plants about an hour south of here, and then some recent economic development news just last month here in Louisville with two companies making big EV-related investments for us as well. We also began working with a national organization called NREL to chart a course for meeting our 2030 goal, including looking at the possibility of creating a city-owned utility that would use renewable energy to power city buildings. There are multiple cities that own their own electric utility. Obviously, here in Louisville, we own our water utility, we own our wastewater utility with MSD, but we don't own our electric and gas utility. That's LG&E. LG&E and KU know the importance of transitioning to clean energy. They are saddled with coal-fired plants. They are as clean as what coal-fired plants can be, but we know when we look into the future that coal-fired plants will be retired. They're being retired all over the world right now. So we're constrained as a city with some of our environmental goals because of the main provider of the energy source for the city. And LG&E and KU obviously are aware of that as well, so that will be a continued source of discussion for us. We can continue to take steps, though, ourselves on what we can control. In 2021, we welcomed our first ever energy manager, and that's Zach Tyler, who has saved the city $750,000 in his first year through energy reduction measures. And this resulted in 7% less energy use and avoided 2,200 tons of CO2 equivalent emissions. I want to say thank you to all of our Metro employees that are involved with our planning and sustainability efforts. Rob King is here with us today. Allison Smith is not, I don't think. Samita Rao and Julie Donna. So I meet with them monthly on what our progress looks like, so really appreciate what everybody's doing here on the Metro team. So what we're now doing is looking at how to reinvest the savings from our energy management use in ways that will reduce our energy usage even more. And we're getting noticed for our work here in Louisville. Last year, we received LEED Silver certification from the U.S. Green Building Council and earned an A-list ranking from the global environmental nonprofit CDP for the second year in a row. I always want to go faster, but this is exciting stuff, and relative to other cities, we're doing good work. But there is still an enormous amount of progress that can be made. And in order to meet our goals, we need to tackle this in multiple ways, and we also need buy-in from the community. So as we look ahead to 2040 and our goal of 100% clean energy community-wide, Louisville Metro is really proud to partner with the Louisville Sustainability Council to launch the Solar Over Louisville Solarize campaign. Residential buildings account for 27.4% of Louisville's greenhouse gas emissions, and this program will encourage residents in Louisville and surrounding counties to invest in solar power by offering discounted rates for solar installation. Solarized programs like Solar Over Louisville are effective at reducing these barriers and helping residents more easily access the far-reaching benefits of solar. Because it can be pretty daunting when you decide to do this by yourself and, okay, where do I buy these things? Who's going to install them? How do I interface with the grid and all that? That's a lot. So we want to put this together to make it easy. Louisville Metro, Louisville Sustainability Council representatives, and community solar advocates reviewed the submissions and selected an installer who has been vetted and provided reduced pricing for participants in the program so they can be confident they're getting a good price from a reputable company. To talk more about the benefits of solar and to announce solar installation chosen to participate in the Solar Over Louisville program is Mark Donnelly. Mark is the treasurer of the Louisville Sustainability Council. I want to thank the Louisville Sustainability Council, who's been a strong and consistent advocacy voice for environmental responsibility, and they just do a great job pulling the community together for this. So for that, I'm very grateful. Mark?
Thank you. Hi, as Mark Donnelly, and I wanted to say a few things first about the LSC, Louisville Sustainability Council. We have a mission to connect our communities, to convene interested parties in sustainability strategically, and to create programs, events, and resources that for developing sustainability in Louisville. We provide a conduit between sustainable practices and community organizations, and we want to be a catalyst for innovation as well as collaboration in areas addressing sustainability in the community. Our membership, we have members of larger corporations that you would all recognize on our, if you go on our website, everybody's on there, as well as small businesses. with an interest in promoting a sustainable community. We also have partners of governmental organizations and nonprofit organizations that also have interest in sustainability, and hundreds of individual members that give us grounding in the community and are participants in our activities as well on an individual basis. Our partners who could not be here, Wallace McMullen and I have worked with Julie Donna of the Office of Advanced Planning Sustainability throughout what was called a solar cohort, which was offered to the community by the Rocky Mountain Institute in Colorado. And the focus of that was to give us guidance in developing and kicking off this Solarize program. And we spent about 9 months and about 12 sessions developing each aspect of this program. Wallace is the president of the Kentucky Solar Energy Society and lives here in Louisville, as well as Sarah Lynn Cunningham of Louisville Climate Action Network is here. And so the focus of basically the higher focus of the cohort was to give us newbies exposure to those who are also working on programs from other communities around the country and their community partners, as well as hear from communities that have 2, 3 to 10-year history of these programs, and share their success stories and their difficulties when they started and to help us through. One of their also major focus was how do we address this complicated subject of solar energy and on my roof to communities that are low or moderate income, that might have a higher energy load. Their energy costs for their income are probably higher. They can achieve a lot of benefit from this more if we can offer discounted rates, financing incentives, maybe some grants, and we're working on all that as well. This is just the first year. We hope to extend this on, and as long as it lives and penetrate different communities. We have other neighborhood partners listed on our website for the Solarize program, and we hope to have events in communities around the city where people who have solar can talk to people who don't or people who are interested, and then we can talk about the benefits of this program. So with that said, we did go through a rigorous process of evaluating bidders, and we have selected Solar Energy Solutions of Lexington and Louisville to be our partner. They have offered us a great deal, and they can do the work, and they have success in the community, and we are very happy to have them as partners. I guess I hand it off to you, Jeff, from Solar Energy, or? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Okay, so Louisville Sustainability Council obviously has been a great partner, as I said, in all these efforts, so I really appreciate their guidance in a lot of our sustainability efforts. So next up is Jeff Nazarco. Jeff is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Solar Energy Solutions, and you just heard about Solar Energy Solutions. They've taken part in a number of Solarize campaigns in Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio. We know they're doing a great job for here, and we're excited to make the announcement this morning about SCS. So please welcome Mark to the, welcome Jeff, to the stage here. Jeff, come on up, buddy.
No, thank you very much. So just thank you to the mayor, the Louisville Metro government, the Office of Advanced Planning and Sustainability, and a number of the volunteers who have, helped guide the process. This was an award that was we took a great deal of pride in terms of receiving. We know it was very competitive in the marketplace. There was lots of Q&A, lots of sessions talking about what we could do from a technical standpoint, experience in the marketplace, and of course price was important to make sure that we were as competitive as possible for the citizens in the region. Solar Energy Solutions has taken a great deal of pride in being selected And we've had 15 years of experience in operations in the region, and have successfully installed both solar and energy storage systems to over 2,000 customers in the tri-state area. SES has been the preferred supplier for many solarized campaigns in the region. Over the last 7 years, we've participated and led 7 large programs in the region. And I think that experience really brings a lot of community interface, discussions and so forth with prospective clients. It's important for us as we talk to people through the pre-quotation stage, pre-engineering, quotation, and implementation stage that they're comfortable with the decision that they're making. We have one of our salespeople who participates in the program and an installer who has years and years of experience. These gentlemen talk through the proposal, the layout on the roofs, making sure that people are comfortable both with the investment and the aesthetics of the program. It's incredibly important for us that customers are satisfied when we walk away and we've done a good job. Solar Energy Solutions is committed to the highest standards of technical training and industry experience for our staff. We have 6 NAB CEP certified PV installer professionals, which is a kind of high mark accreditation in the industry, as well as master and journeyman electricians on staff who participate in all of the reviews once the installations are underway and completed. And finally, continued success in what's certainly going to be mutual beneficial partnership for the residents of Louisville. The city, in meeting the green energy goals and resulting revenue generation, will allow for continued expansion of our team within the city. We do look to hire additional salespeople and installers in the process if this is successful. We look forward to getting to know your teams, learning more about the community efforts, and being a valued supplier and partner to the city and its residents over time. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. Welcome to town, too.
Thank you.
By the way. So, obviously, reputable installer, good pricing. We're going to be able to get a discount here of 12% to 19% or so. So we hope that's going to lower the barrier to entry for some residents and then incentivize those who have been considering solar to go ahead and make that leap forward and invest now. And we recognize, though, that even with a generous discount from SES, that solar power will still not be affordable to some homeowners. So Louisville Metro government will be offering limited solar grant funds to assist low to moderate income property owners by covering the cost of solar installation. So again, Louisville Metro government will be offering limited solar grant funds to assist qualified low to moderate income property owners by covering the cost of solar installation. So more details on that grant programs will be available in March. So to bring us home this afternoon, we've got a long time and dedicated sustainability advocate and leader in Sarah Lynn Cunningham. Sarah Lynn is the co-founder and executive director of the Louisville Climate Action Network and has been a long-time partner with the city and all of our various environmentally conscious entities to keep moving us forward, and we appreciate that. So please welcome Sarah Lynn Cunningham.
Morning, y'all. So, in the world of climate change, we have a toolbox, and I'm going to regret to tell you there is no silver bullet in this game of climate change and climate action, but there's silver buckshot. And that's what's cool about it. There's something everybody can do. And almost everything is energy efficiency, and that ranges from free to low cost to more money. And then comes solar after you've reduced your load. So we think solar power is really important. Unfortunately, though, the terms caveat emptor or buyer beware are now relevant. And that's really lousy, and so we offer a series of workshops, one of which is on solar. It's called Before You Buy, and we help to counsel people on how to know if they have a decent solar house or property, and then how to select a contractor and work with the contractor, etc. And it gives people the confidence to go ahead and pull the trigger, as we say, and sign a contract and do solar. One of the reasons I think this program is important, particularly the part about getting it into low to moderate income neighborhoods, is you've probably read that psychologists believe that kids need to see a new vegetable on their plate at least 10 times before they'll open-mindedly taste it and decide if they like it. I remain convinced that grown-ups need to see new technology about 10 times in their neighborhood before they would say to themselves, wonder if this would work on my house or in my backyard. So I think that spreading it out is really important. The Climate Action Network is a network of 48 organizations, which includes the Louisville Sustainability Council. It includes 2 solar installers, Sun Wind Power Systems and Solar Energy Solutions. So we're really glad to see that one of our members got this project. But our big concern is that lately there's been this explosion of new out-of-town companies, and they are literally going door to door in some neighborhoods. They are putting mailers out into the mail. They're doing ads in the newspaper. So the little secret here is that I'm kind of addicted to solitaire on the computer. And, if I'm listening to a radio program and can't do works, I'll just stop and play solitaire. I'm starting to get advertisements every 15 minutes claiming that the state of Kentucky will buy solar panels for my roof. I already have solar panels, but you get the point. There's a lot of bad actors out there, and that's why I think this program is so important, that if people are interested in solar, they can have somebody else who's not trying to sell them something to do an initial screening to make sure they're a real candidate for solar before they're talking to a salesperson. They're not going to be dealing with a company that tries really hard to get you to sign a contract when you just met them. They're not going to be demanding 50% down and you only get 72 hours to get back out of the deal because you talked to somebody and said, whoa, don't do this. Some of these contracts I've seen have called for solar panels on the east and west face of the roof. I've even seen them on the north face of the roof when they're supposed to be aiming south. I've seen them where they're completely shaded by taller next door buildings. There's unscrupulous actors out there, so it's really important for us to make sure that people don't get treated like that, because otherwise we're going to lose faith, and we can't afford to lose faith. And I guess that's probably all I want to say is, other than I want solar not to feel like the East Wing of the State Fair with hawkers in the hallway trying to snare people, So thank you very much for your attention. Go solar.
All right, thank you, Sarah Lynn. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why this is so important here today. Think about this as a one-stop shop of credibility, of pricing, of just making it easy for people. And a lot of people are thinking about solar, and one of the great things, obviously, is the price of solar has come down a lot over the last decade or so it is much more economical as people are ready to make that lift to even more individual personal accountability with environmental activity. So we appreciate that. So, everybody, here is your call to action. Visit 100percentlu.com/2040 to fill out the online form letting SES know that you are interested in getting solar at your home, and get details about a virtual workshop on March the 1st where you can get more information. And while you're on 100percentlu.com, check out the other sustainability programs available to individuals, businesses, and organizations through the Louisville Metro Office of Advanced Planning and Sustainability, including the Cool Roof Incentive and our EPAD programs as well. So a lot of different ways for you to help the environment.